Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You, and by Burns & Scallow Roofing and Real Estate, dedicated to improving the profitability and sustainability of our clients. Visit our website to learn about the power of two. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, a transformation story of sorts. We'll find out why a local nonprofit is making green building practices a core part of its strategy to better serve people with disabilities. Plus, Ambridge Regional Center celebrates 25 years of investment that's turned an old steel mill site into a dynamic business center. But first, new ownership at the Waterfront, the mixed-use development on the site of the former Homestead works of U.S. Steel that combines R&D, corporate headquarters, retail, entertainment, and residential uses. Carole DeAngelo is general manager of the Waterfront, and Martin Sweeney is vice president of acquisitions of M&J Wilkow, the new owner of the Waterfront, or at least a big part of it. Good to see you both. Welcome.
Thank you, Bill.
So first off, to be clarified, it's not the entire Waterfront development that we know. It's largely the retail portion of it?
Right. It's just about all of the shopping center, entertainment, and movie theater portion. Giant Eagle and Target and Lowe's own their own buildings, but all the other shopping center components we own.
Okay, and your company's out of Chicago, so what did you see in the Waterfront? How did this acquisition come about?
Right, we are based in Chicago. We own about 10 million square feet of shopping center and office space around the country. And really we look first and foremost to the local economies. We're invested in Chicago, of course, San Francisco, Denver, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh's economic recovery has been really at the top with all of those other cities. So first and foremost, we looked to Pittsburgh. We wanted to invest here. And then with the Waterfront, what we really liked was a few things. One, it's 265 acres of flat land, which is very difficult to find in western Pennsylvania.
Sure.
And so we knew that it would be very difficult to replicate the Waterfront or to build something competitive to it. And so we thought we had a competitive advantage with just the mass of real estate. The location is very centrally located in your region, and we wanted to take advantage of that. And lastly, the Waterfront had fallen a little bit on hard times over the last few years. It was owned by Wall Street-based companies for the last 6 or 7 years who were really beholden to their shareholders and really working to try and cut costs and look at quarterly earnings. Where we're long-term owners, we don't ever plan to sell the Waterfront, and so we came in with, frankly, a much more hands-on approach. We thought that if we brought a management team like Carole, we brought Carole from the gallery of Mount Lebanon to work at the property full-time. The property was being leased out of a office in Buffalo, New York.
Wow. Okay.
We're using local based Turkey Pollock from CB Richard Ellis, who lives just on the other side of the bridge, is leasing the space for us. And so there's that local connection and emotional investment. And we just felt like the property needed more attention. And really in the 9 months we've owned it, we couldn't be more pleased. We've invested about $2 million in improvements. We've signed new leases. And we think the future there is very, very bright.
No, so Carole, I know there are a few, especially vacant restaurants on the property. So what might we begin to see on the Waterfront?
Well, first and foremost, what we knew that we needed to do was spend some money really enhancing the curb appeal. So if you come to the center now, you're going to see brand new paving, new landscaping. The pedestrian bridge that is a staple of the Waterfront has been repainted. It looks brand new. Those are just some of the few things that we're doing to enhance the curb appeal. And we're hearing it and feeling it from the customers that they're pleased with what we're doing. And in turn, what that was able to help us do was bring new leases to the center, which is, obviously the most important part of the piece. So we were thrilled to sign a deal with Burgatory Restaurant, which is certainly a Pittsburgh staple now.
Sure, well, my kids are excited about that.
That's right, that's fantastic news, and it will be directly across from Lowe's Theater. And then next to that will be Charming Charlie, which is new to the Pittsburgh area. It's the second only Charming Charlie in Pittsburgh, so that will be the new Burgatory neighbor. Okay. And then
Charming Charlie, it's a restaurant, or it's
Charming Charlie. Charming Charlie is a woman's dream.
Okay,
all right. Okay. Truly, it is all accessories. So it's a little bit of clothing, a lot of accessories in terms of jewelry, scarves, handbags. I'm not very excited about it. I'm sure you can't tell. So it's really, truly going to be a huge asset to the waterfront. And then across from the power center, the town center, which is the power center, which is where the big boxes are, the corner where Filene's basement was formerly located has been vacant for some time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, quite a few years.
Since 2009.
Thank you. So what we're doing with that is we're dividing that into 3 spaces essentially, and on the top floor, because it's a 2-story building, on the top floor we're the first only center to have a Crunch Fitness. So that's a huge asset to the center. So what we're trying to do really is balance a lot of the leasing activity so that it's obviously on the town center portion, which is where Burgatory and Charming Charlie will be, and then on the power center portion. But first and foremost, when you come to the center, you'll see the improvements, you'll see the activity, you'll feel the activity, and it's, you know, certainly going to help us.
Plus, you got the bike trail now that runs right through, and I know it's got some convenience aspects about some of the usage, but the amount of traffic that's being generated now recreationally is unbelievable through the waterfront.
Well, and we can both speak to that, because one of the most unique aspects of M&J Wilkow was that they identified what Pittsburgh is and should be. And, you know, not being based out of Pittsburgh, you don't know if a corporate office is really going to grasp it, but they did. And the bike trail was one of the components that they identified early on, and that last piece is now complete. And what we've done is also we've cleaned up the trail portion so that you can see the beauty of the river. And we are seeing and feeling the effects of that completed trail. There are many more bikes on the property. We've enhanced their experience. We've added bike racks and corrals. We want to welcome them, and as well as the tenants. They want to make them part of their experience, so we're trying to enhance that.
To Carole's point, in the last 9 months, we've spent about $1.6 million in just capital improvements: the parking, the landscaping, lighting, the trail cleanup, and today we are closing on the purchase of the former Fuddruckers site that's been vacant, that was in foreclosure. It went to auction last month, and we felt like to have one of the river parcels not controlled by the rest of the shopping center would have been a mistake. And so we wanted to make sure that that parcel would be developed in the future for the right use. Maybe it's residential, maybe it's part of an overall development with a marina, but we closed that. We're closing on that today. And, you know, we're happy to now control another piece right there on the river.
Well, it's exciting to see. I know when the waterfront opened a few years ago, there's a lot of excitement in Pittsburgh about having a real world-class shopping facility and mixed-use development. And it's great to see it being reinvigorated, because it's a real gem. And
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up, from American Bridge to Ambridge Regional Center, a mixed-use development that's celebrating its 25th anniversary. Stay with us.